Namaskar. Welcome to
Namaskar. Namaskar,
well,
Mahapataji.
welcome to Face Soumyajit. Another Wednesday, 7 p.m. And we are with another very esteemed guest. In spite of our busy schedule, today we could manage to get her presence here in this virtual show. And we are very happy that she's from Pune. I think a little bit drizzling is also there, and we are in Kolkata. And later on, we will discuss also her Kolkata connection. But let me introduce Ruchira Kedarji. Ruchira Kedar started her uh, musical journey from Bhopal, and that too from her own father, Sri Dilip Kale. I think I have properly pronounced the name. And later
Yes.
on, uh, several gurus came into her life, and that we will slowly unfold the stories. And the talims continued, the practices continues, the intricacies of classical music, Hindustani classical music started growing into her mind, and she did her post graduation in English and music, also did her PhD in music, and presently she is one of the very reputed University of Pune, Vishwakarma University, where head of the uh, department of music. And that is in a very nutshell, but there are a lot to tell, and those things will come into our chat, our this adda, and all these stories we will slowly tell you. And welcome Ruchira Kedaji in this show. We started this show November 18th. So this is the seventh month. And probably this show is going to be the 40th episode, regular episode. It happens every Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Namaskar, Mahapataji. Very honored to be here today. I have been aware of the, extremely stellar work that you have been doing, and I have seen some of your episodes, and I found them very enlightening. So I'm very happy to be here today. And I mean, all of us are, in this, what do you say, in this bubble for the last, almost 2 years now. So every day we are finding new ways to connect and new ways to express ourselves. And I feel the current time is like it brings with it a lot of opportunities also. I feel
Right.
not just sadness and
Yes. New vistas
difficult
are
times.
opening.
Yes, yes. So I
Now,
prefer to look at it as a
from
a
a
time
positive
for
angle.
humanity to find many opopportunities, and find more
Right.
positivity. Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
for your very important words. And let's see one audiovisual how the journey continued. But the audiovisual will be for a very brief period. Please play the audiovisual.
Thank you.
I think many nostalgic moments have been flashed on the screen, and you
Yes,
remember some of the moments. Let me
yes,
further
definitely.
introduce in this preliminary few minutes that Ruchira ji, who is a well known for her exceptionally skillful and emotive renditions of a variety of Hindustani musical forms like Khyal, Chumri, Dadra, Bhajan, etc. She is also the recipient of prestigious Ustad Bismillah Khan Hoover Puraskar by Sangeet Natak Academy Government of India. She is a senior disciple of legendary artists and gurus like Dr. Alaka Deo Marulkar, Pandit Ullas Kalashkar, and Vidushi Girija Devi, and more when we start talking about her in this show. So, welcome once again, Ruchira ji.
Thank you. Thank you once again.
So, how
So,
to
yeah.
start? How to start? Hard talk or with your name of the show, the evening melody?
Yes, definitely. We can start with some music. I mean, that is something, that comes with the territory of being a musician, that, it's always more pleasant to start with music,
Okay,
right?
thank you, thank you.
So I'll just start with a small composition in Des. It's a Savan ka composition. It was taught to me by my Guruji Pandit Ulhas Kashalkar. Uh, I'll just present it a little bit, not
Right.
much because I
Ne-
don't have musicians with me today. A little
Yeah,
bit
yeah.
I'll just sing it.
Thank you.
Re, re, na, 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 re, na, सखी घन गरजत अति घोरा सखी घन गरजत अति घोरा सखी घन गरजत अति घोरा सखी पिया बिन मोही कल ना परत है पिया बिन मोही कल ना परत है तरसत है मन मोरा सखी घन गरजत अति घोरा सखी घन गरजत अति घोरा बार बार बिजुरी चमकत है बार बार बिजुरी चमकत है गरज गरज बादल बरसत है छाई घटा घन घोरा सखी घन गरजत अति घोरा सखी घन गरजत अति ভোরা
What a rendition! The
Thank you.
evening melody. You set the tone of the today's chat show.
Thank you. Thank
Ah,
you so much.
yes. With limitations of musicians, still you have set the tone of the whole chat show. I once again thank you. Let us. I know that you have been telling it uh, time and again in several shows, but still, I would like to know briefly that you are born in Bhopal. Your initial trainings were from your old father, and then you took your talim in Jaipur Gharana, Gwalior Gharana, Banaras Gharana. So let us know something about these initial days of training.
Right, right. My life has been very, I would say, different than most kids in many ways. I mean, we were a family who is a lot into music, but somehow no one was taking it up professionally over the years. And my father was very keen that he must have seen some potential in me. So he was very keen that I take it up, very seriously as a pursuit, as a profession. So he initially trained me for some years. I think I started around 10 or 11, which is a little late actually if you think about, kids who are born in musical families. So I started around 10 or 11. And then my father took me to my first Guruji outside home, Dr. Alka Marulkarji in Pune. And she was very kind enough, to accept me as her disciple and train me for so many years. She took care of me like a mother because I was staying alone in Pune. At that time, it was unheard of, I moved to Pune when I was 14 and I was alone. So, yes, life had its challenges that time. I was with Alkaji for almost 7 to 8 years. In Pune, I also moved with her to Goa for some time in Kala Academy. After that, I moved to Kolkata. As you said, my strong Kolkata connection, I moved to ITC Sangeet Research Academy to learn from Guruji Pandit Ulas Kashalkaji and Vidushi Girjadevi. So, SRA, Sangeet Research Academy was, a revelation in many ways. It was a, grooming ground. It was like the, training ground. It was a lot, how we see, soldiers getting trained. So it was very hectic, very, very tough in many ways because so many of us from all over India were there. Everyone was, so deep into their riyas and their learning, and we were literally on our toes all the time. Expected to perform, expected to sing better every time, and our gurus were like, very very tough taskmasters. So it was a very challenging time, but I would say that that is really what is required. If you want to take up music as a full lifetime pursuit. So that is how my training was. So, and after that, I moved to Pune, back to Pune. I have been,
It was
performing.
2004, 5, 6,
Yeah, in SRA, I was till 2006. Yeah, till
2006.
2006, early 2007. Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, Kolkata, it was, I mean, it still has a very strong piece of my heart.
What comes to
Many
your
of my
mind? What comes to your mind? Rasgulla, Mishti Doi, or water logging in
Mishti doi,
Kolkata?
Mishti doi. I would sneak out of SRA almost every day for that Mishti doi, And some of my closest friends are from Kolkata. I mean, I have received so much love, so much affection, as as a person and also as an artist. I mean, I really have that really great amount of respect for Kolkata audiences also because
Right.
they treat the
Yes.
artist with so much love, so much respect. I mean,
Matured
it's
audience, and here only
yes,
Double
yes,
Red Music Conference, Uttar Para
yes,
Sangit
yes.
Chakra, this type of
Yes, yes,
classical music concerts are being held
yes,
regularly.
yes, yes, yes.
So another question out of curiosity comes that during your long stay in Kolkata, বাংলা কি কি শিখেছিলেন দু একটা যদি মনে পড়ে?
হ্যাঁ, মানে বাংলা তো আমি খুব মানে আমি এরকম বলবো না কি আমি নেটিভ স্পিকারের মতো বলি। কিন্তু মানে আমার সব একদম ক্লোজ বন্ধুরা সব বাঙালি আছে। শাহানা
আচ্ছা।
আমার খুব ভালো বন্ধু আছে শাহানাদি। আপনি তো জানেন, আপনি
হ্যাঁ,
আপনি করেছেন ওনার ইয়ে।
হ্যাঁ,
তাহলে বাংলা মানে আমি কনভার্স করতে পারি ডেফিনেটলি,
বাহ,
বুঝতে পারি, একটু পড়তেও পারি। আহ, মানে কিন্তু বাংলা মারাঠিও মানে খুব
ক্লোজ,
কাছে কাছে, হ্যাঁ কাছে
কাছাকাছি,
কাছে
খুব
আছে, তাই জন্য।
সুইট, সুইট,
হ্যাঁ,
সুইট।
হ্যাঁ, হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু বাংলা একটু বেশি সুইট।
খুব ভালো লাগলো শুনে। কলকাতা থেকে শো হোস্ট করছি, যদিও আজকে ডিজিটাল ক্যানভাসে হোয়াট ইজ আমেরিকা, হোয়াট ইজ পুনা অ্যান্ড হোয়াট ইজ কলকাতা, দেয়ার ইজ নো
হ্যাঁ,
অ্যাবসলিউটলি
নিশ্চয়,
ডিফারেন্স।
ডেফিনেটলি।
I will just ask one question. That see, you are a very popular one of the very popular Hindustani classical vocalists, and you often this khayal, thungri, dadra, hori, kajri, bhajan. These varieties often you perform, and since music is very well connected with internal soul and our mind soul, so which one two are very close to your soul? I know everything is very important and very you cannot just disintegrate any particular portion. Still, this is my question, if possible. Please say.
So basically, which genre I feel closest to? That's what you're asking me?
Your
Okay.
internal soul,
Okay. What touches me most? Okay. I
right?
would definitely say Khayal and Thumri, both, to a very large extent, because I had the good fortune of learning it from the, absolute geniuses of both art forms, you know.
Right.
So, and thankfully, I was able to make that distinction between both the genres, because sometimes it's very easily for khayal singers to start singing like a khayal in Thumri and vice versa, so thankfully I was able to make that distinction in performance, and I feel I really feel that switching on and off when I go from khayal to Thumri and Thumri to khayal, I can feel that, and both are equally close to my heart, and anytime I can perform either of them. So I would say that both are equally close to my heart.
Right, right. It was just out of curiosity. I thought that I
Yes,
should ask you.
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, you are PhD in music. You are postgraduate in both music and English. Whether it was by accident or by choice, you did post graduation in two subjects. How does it
Ah,
relate, music and English?
okay. I would say the degree itself was a lot because of the efforts of my mother. She really pushed me to get those degrees. Otherwise, I had a love for languages, but I
Sure.
might not have, taken it up as a degree subject, right? So, postgraduate subject. But I always had a love for English. I had a love for literature, a lot of love for poetry. So I would anyway read all the time. I mean, as since I was a kid, I was into reading all the time. Something would be there with me. Some book would be there. So English because of the love for language, and music obviously because I wanted to be
Yeah,
much better informed, and much what do you say, better musician in many ways.
right. So, how did this PhD concept came? Because you joined in the university, whether it has got any connection that you will be taking up a teaching job, and that's why you require this PhD, or as a musician, generally we do not see that they do,
Yes,
as
yes,
per my knowledge. But you can
right.
correct me.
Yeah, again, I would really credit my mother with that, because she
Ach-
was the one, she really wanted me to get those, she wanted me to be an educated musician,
right.
So,
This is a
and
very
she
good
pushed me.
terminology you have used.
Yes, yes, yes. So she pushed me to give that national eligibility test, and as it happened, I got the merit in that, and so I was awarded the junior research fellowship. And since I had the fellowship, so I thought, let me pursue PhD. It actually all happened very organically. It wasn't very done by design or anything. And as I finished my PhD, I joined the university. So it's like one after the other coincidences, I would say.
But how
But
do you
all
manage time? This teaching profession, this I do not know how many hours you have to engage yourself in
right,
this rewaj. I do not
right,
know.
right, right.
So and then doing commercials and then concerts. I think more than 50 or 60 concerts nationally, internationally already you have performed.
Yes, 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 yes.
So my
Uh,
question that you have been taking part in different national and international concerts. So the first question was, how many hours of rewaj you continuously do.
Mm.
This, how do you balance this thing? And the next portion is national and international. Which are the two concerts, one nationally and one internationally, are very close to your heart when you perform?
Okay. Okay. See, Riyaz, I would say is like a it's almost like a 24-hour thing, you know. It's
Yeah.
not, you know, that I sit and I do Riyaz. I'm constantly also thinking about music. I'm constantly doing Chintan Manan. And I mean that
Acha.
is also Riyaz, right? Not just the part where I actually sit and sing. So that is of course there. I mean, as a musician, I'm definitely doing that.
Right.
But this is like a, it's not just sitting and doing practice, and it's also thinking. It's also listening to a lot of music. It's also
Mm.
listening to, you know, one's gurus and one's seniors and the music you admire and all kinds of music from the world. Actually, I don't limit myself to, you know, listening only the kind of music I perform. I listen to everything because one never knows
This,
where inspiration would come from, you know.
right.
So it's always a, you know, it's as I say, it's when you're, you know, if you're waking up, you are in music. So it's like that for me. I'm always in music. And the second part where you asked me, key, you know, which concerts have been close to my heart.
National and international,
Yes,
in
yes, yes.
two arenas, which are the closest in national, which one was the very close that you I performed
Right,
here, that factor you came into your
right,
mind?
right, right, right. Actually, it would be very difficult to point out only one
Okay,
because
okay, one two,
you
maybe
know,
more than one two concerts will come.
right, right, right. Initially, when I was in SRA, I took part in ITC Sammelan, the ITC Sangeet Sammelan in Delhi,
Right, right.
and I was quite young then. You know, I would have been, I think, 22 or 23 that time, and just starting out. And ITC had put me up on the platform with, you know, my solo, and then Rashid ji, and then Zakir Hussain ji.
Sure.
So, you know, yeah. That was the kind
Huge
of
combination.
platform. Yes, yes, yes. So that was the kind of platform, you know, that ITC SRA had given me, and that was one of my most memorable concerts. I mean, not just singing on that stage, but also observing these legendary artists, you know, so up
Right.
close at that age. It was such a great learning experience, and you know, that is something that stays in my mind. Then another concert is, we won't say it was a very, you know, big concert that way, but a very memorable in the sense that there was this place in Gwalior, Madhav Sangeet Mahavidyalaya, where my
Right.
father was learning music some 40 years ago.
Okay.
And I performed there after 40 years, you know, as an independent artist. So that is something really that stays with me, you know, that my father was learning there, he was known there as a singer, and after 40 years, I went there and sang.
Parental
And
that's connection.
yes, yes, that emotional connection was definitely there. And the
Yes.
other one was when I got the Bismillah Khan Yuva Puraskar. So that was
Yes. You
something
are
really, you know, I felt so proud of the entire journey that I had taken till then.
right.
So that was one of the
Yes, I was
concerts.
going through your profile. This Swati Gandharva Vimshan Mahotsav Pune,
Yes,
then
yes,
Tansen
yes,
Samaro Gwalior, then
yes,
ITC Shongit Sammelan. Already you have then Bengal Classical Music Festival, Vedic
right,
Heritage Ashram, New York. Achha, it is an
right,
overseas. What was
yes.
Vedic? Was it any connection at with the Vedic thing?
Actually, this was like long back, you know, when I was in Pune. Actually, initially, I would have been 18 or 19 that time. So there was this concert that Pandit Jasraj used to organize, and he would select, you know, handpick some young musicians and take them to New York to perform at this Vedic Heritage Ashram. There was this place.
Acha, acha.
Yeah, yeah. So at that time, I was chosen by him, and you know, a galaxy of other Hindustani and Carnatic artists were there. You know, Pandit Jasraj himself was performing. Vishwamohan Bhattji was there. So many other people were there. So that was also actually one of my most memorable concerts. So and after that, I, you know, did tours of US and Canada and other places. A Bengal festival in Dhaka was extremely memorable for me, you know, because it was like organized like a rock show. You know, I had never seen like 1 lakh people listening to classical music in one place.
In
You know,
Dhaka?
yeah, it is one of the.
Acha,
It is the biggest Hindustani festival in the world, if I may say so.
acha.
So yeah, amazing. It was amazing. So I actually got the feeling like a rock star, you know. So
In
I
which
mean,
year
since
you performed there?
I think this was 2014.
2014.
2014, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So amazing place. Then again, Savai Gandharv in Pune. That is one of
right.
the biggest platforms for Hindustani. It was so memorable and so precious for me to perform there and offer my Shraddhanjali to Bhimsen Joshi ji. So some really, as I said, very difficult to point out one or two.
Yes, I
Things
understand.
that
I
I'm
appreciate
doing.
also. And we have been discussing so many things, and you took names of all gurus and this fantabulous this concerts also. So, do you
Yes.
remember anything which you can share briefly with our audience today? Anything comes in your mind?
From the concert,
From the
from the
concert,
concert.
yeah. Anything which
Uh,
flashes in your mind right now,
okay.
and which
Actually,
will be
we,
convenient for you.
yes, yes, yes. Flashes in my mind, I would say. Sometimes, people say such heartfelt things after the concert. As an artist, you are like so overwhelmed. I mean, you're not expecting that kind of effect, that you would have on people.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. So after the this concert once, I think it was in Delhi. So there was this person that came after the concert to me, and they said that you changed my life today. So I was so overwhelmed. I just sang. How can I change your life? So they said that I have been, what do you say, housebound for the many years, feeling ill and, being sick and being depressed and all that. And somehow I just mustered up the courage to come to your concert today. Okay. And listening to you has totally made life, 180 degrees, 360 degrees. I've gone, back to being very positive, back to being very, effective in life. And I feel I'm going to achieve a lot in life now. Your music has, changed me. So that was really something very overwhelming for me because I mean as an artist I never feel that ki that is the kind of effect music would have on someone, but
So
definitely it does.
it acted
Yeah,
like music therapy.
music therapy. Yes, correct, correct, correct. So yeah, this is just one instance. There are so many. I
Yeah.
mean, I really don't want to boast that way, but
No, no, not
you know,
boasting. Actually, this kind of
yeah,
stories, this inspire
yeah,
young musicians
yes,
also. That
yes,
only on platform you have to go. Not that you can change the lives through your
yes,
musical
yes.
journey.
Yes, yes, yes.
So this is a
And I
nice
feel
story
that
revelation.
only
Yeah,
happens when you yourself immerse yourself into your own music. I
right,
mean, there's a very fine line between singing for who's sitting in front and singing for yourself when you're on stage, and that takes time. I wouldn't say that initially also it wasn't like that for me. Obviously, one is conscious of people who are sitting in front
right,
and all that. But as
right.
you experience the concert stage many times in your life, you get to a stage where you're just singing for yourself when you're on stage. So I think that kind of magic starts to happen when you reach that stage. So sometimes that happens to me, I'm really not aware of who is around me while I'm singing.
Right. I
So,
think more you give, you get more.
yes, yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. So
So, uh,
currently, I also feel one thing that I also feel very passionate about is, as you mentioned, my university, and my teaching role. The particular role that I am in, it's the university has designed this course. We have designed this course in collaboration with Dr. L. Subramanian ji and Kavita Krishnamurthy ji, their organization, and the university is collaborating. So the
yes.
course is designed like a Gurukul system. We're not really in college and teaching like
Okay.
a
It's
college
it's
system.
a residential
Not residential, but the way we teach and the way the entire curriculum is designed,
methodology.
it's more like,
Methodology.
yes, methodology is like how we learn from a guru. So it's
Right.
actually what the same thing that we did.
Very
So I feel
interesting.
comfortable. Yes, yes, yes. I feel very comfortable, and I feel I'm in my very comfortable space, comfort zone, and I feel it's very important for us to also give what we have received. I mean, we
Right.
have been fortunate to receive such, invaluable knowledge from our gurus. And as musicians, I feel it is definitely our duty to, give it further,
Give
to,
back. Right.
for, yeah, yes,
Certainly.
further the
Certainly.
knowledge.
This. Yes.
Yes.
Otherwise, the you if you don't shake hand with the next generation, how they will come? into this
Yes, yes,
profession with, and they will
definitely,
have their
definitely.
pride that I am also a musician of
Right,
India.
right, right.
So you received so many this medals, then recognitions, awards, and that is a gold medal at the national level, All India Radio Classical Vocal in 1999. Then you got Yuva Sadhak Samman by Madhugali, a prestigious organization in Madhya Pradesh. Yogi Achiever by Midday Newspaper Pune. And if I go on reading, it will take only 5 minutes. How many recognitions and awards were given to you? But uh, when you get these awards, achievements in your initial days, the reaction of your mind and at your mature stage when you get something, some recognitions, how do you get the difference?
Definitely, there's a difference, as you rightly pointed out. When one is young and in the upcoming stages, and when one is just started learning, or did some small achievements, did some concerts, and when something like that comes along, you feel really excited, you feel really amazed, and you are like on the top of the world, in that age, in your teenage, or during everyone is like that. But when you experience the entire, you go through the entire grooming process, learning process, the rigorous training and yes, it really humbles you in many ways. I
Right.
mean, it really teaches you that that you are not the start and end of the world. The music is much beyond you. It's much larger than you, and that really gives you a strong sense of humility. It should, ideally, and it should make you humble, and it does make you humble. And when after that all these accolades come in, you feel a sense of responsibility. I feel, that
Yes.
since you're getting recognized, it's really a responsibility to be very fair and to be very just to the knowledge that one has received, and a very what do you say, great responsibility to present it to the world,
So
as the
more
saying
you
is
have
with
to be more accountable to your musical journey,
yes,
to the
yes,
audience.
yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. So that saying, with great power comes great responsibility, something like that.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everywhere we try to get connection. The way we got your Kolkata connection, Mishti Doi.
uh,
Then,
uh,
did you ever experience Kolkata water logging? No.
Once, yes, once. This was very recent, actually. This was, I think, I had gone for a concert or something. It's really, I'm
Acha,
going
acha.
blank. Yeah, yeah. I had gone
But
for
the
ITT
landscape of
Sammelan.
Kolkata has, yeah, landscape of Kolkata has changed in many ways.
Yes, yes,
If
yes, yes,
you go to the Ganges, I mean, embankment, you will get new things. Prince of Ghat, you might have seen. Then in the
yes, yes,
new
yes.
town, there's a lot
Yeah.
of new structures, and the new
Yes,
metro
yes,
is
yes.
also coming.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes, yes.
yes, that's a big
Kolkata is like, it's like a kaleidoscope, I would say,
cultural capital.
Yes, yes, yes. I mean, you get everything there, you get the ancient, you get the modern, everything. It's like, a very great combination of everything. And sometimes I feel it's a nice thing, that such certain things don't change. The love for music, the love for art, the respect for heritage. I mean,
Right.
classical music is all about your respect for your own heritage, and the kind of love that Kolkata people have for it. I mean, it's just to be seen, to be believed. I
Right.
mean, when we were younger and we would visit all these, Dakhini and all these sammelans,
Yes.
overnight sammelans,
And we
and
we have
actually,
Nandan, Ravindra Sadhun.
yes, yes, yes. And I think Kolkata is now the only place which still has these overnight sammelans. Rest everywhere it's closed down.
Yeah.
And we would
Yes.
see such young kids, coming with their parents, sitting all night to listen. I don't know if they got
Yes.
anything or not, but that sanskar is happening.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
what you say,
That's
and
a good thing.
subconsciously they get it. Yes,
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 that's a good thing. Some changes are coming. Change is the only constant, and if it
yes,
grows, that's good. So
yes, good.
you have been into commercial releases also. A
Yes,
Place in Space, then
yes,
Rising Stars, Chota Khayal, Sheets of Rising Stars, and I do
right.
not know. I do not have much information about commercial
Yes,
releases. So let us
yes.
note something about what are the forms of commercial releases and how it influenced the audience. This is
Right.
one part. After that, I will ask you another question that will be, I think, a very contemporary question I will ask. Please, about
Okay.
this commercial releases, kindly say something.
Okay. Okay. See, the way music has been released has really changed over, the last, I think, even just 5 years, not even more than that. So earlier we had, these CDs. I'm not even going to much before that. So my some of my CDs were released. Then there was this Place in Space. It was released by Invisible Girl Records UK. So this was my first international release. It had a big
Yes.
press in Pune and all. So yes, I mean commercial releases have definitely been important, and it's a great way to reach people. To reach connect with people with your own music, and I feel now the landscape is really changing that way. Everyone has that opportunity. Everyone has that YouTube account. Everyone has that Spotify account. Everyone has that that chance to put out their music. So I feel it's a very fair playing field now. So anyone
Right.
who has good content can release their music, and I have received a lot of what do you say feedback whenever I upload something on social media or YouTube. So I feel now it's a great time to connect to people with your music.
Right. Absolutely. I have another question. You have been in this musical journey, I think, since 7 years or 10 years. You told 10 years from Bhopal when your
Yeah,
age was from 10
yes,
years.
yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, around 10 years.
And
Yeah,
yes, I think over 2 decades already passed in your musical
right.
journey. So, what
Yes.
kind of experiments, since you are now considered as one of the very popular Hindustani vocalists, what type of experiments with your matured knowledge you want to do?
Right. See,
Anything in
Mahapatra.
mind?
Yeah. I've already started experimenting a bit. As I told you some time ago, Shahana Adi is a very close friend, and we
Right,
bond a lot musically also. So we
right.
did some 2 or 3 shows where we did a vocal and sitar jugalbandi, and
Yes.
and it was very well received because it's quite unique in many ways. Female vocal and female sitar jugalbandi hardly ever has happened, till now. So we did some shows, and there are also some shows upcoming. So some for one show we also had some an artist doing some live painting for our show. Then for one collaboration we had a Kathak dancer with us. So I feel it's a it's an opportunity that should definitely be explored. Of meeting like-minded musicians, collaborating with them, sharing music, exchanging ideas, and something real good definitely comes out of it. So I'm really not against collaborations and experiments that way.
It always gives space for further
Yes,
growing.
yes,
Yes.
definitely, definitely.
And we have been talking about technology, innovation, other things, artificial
Yes,
intelligence. And
yes.
how do you foresee this technological involvement in this musical, I mean, area?
As I said, earlier that it's now it is like a level playing field. Anyone who has access to technology has the choice to put out their content. But definitely, good content will always win. You definitely need to have good content because flash in the pan. I don't know if people remember it. If you have good content, you will definitely register, you will definitely make a mark on people's mind, and they will come back to your music. So I feel it has to be a good balance between usage of and learning new technology, being comfortable with it, but also expertise over your own content. So I think it is a very good space for good musicians to be in now. you know so a lot of the power has shifted. The power balance has shifted, of how one wants to release their music,
So
how one wants to
you
build
have to
their audience.
embrace the technological innovation
Yes, yes, definitely,
with
definitely,
positive thought
definitely,
when it
definitely.
is for the benefit of the music industry.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
definitely.
So we have been chatting, I think, since long, and now I can reasonably request Ruchira ji to have another rendition of her choice.
Okay. I'll
Then,
sing. Yes. I'll sing a
yeah,
jhula now. You might
yeah,
have heard it. It's very famous in Kolkata.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
famous
Jhulan
composition of
Jatra.
Girja Devi ji. It's a very famous composition, sung by her.
Right.
So I'll just sing that. So the lyrics of this jhula are: झूला धीरे से झुलाओ बनवारी रे सांवरिया. So in semi-classical music, there are many genres actually, even within one season. So for monsoons, you have kajri, you have jhula, you have hindola, all so
Different
many
genres.
things. Yeah. So many different genres. So one thing I would like to say here, like as a khayal singer, as we initially talked, that what are the two genres. So for a khayal singer, it is very difficult sometimes to make that transition, because khayal rag sangeet is basically, the focus is the rag, the tal, the elaboration of that.
Yes,
And for
yes,
semi-classical or upushastri as we call it, the focus is the lyrics and the mood that is, portrayed by the naika, or the, expression of the
exactly,
composition.
exactly.
So unless you have a love for literature, so that's how actually, my love for language helped me here.
Yes. Now it
That
comes. Your mother did a wonderful thing.
so I could, understand the language. Also being from Bhopal, that Hindi and the dialect of Hindi, that was more accessible to me. So I think that really helped me,
Yeah,
try to do a good job in both genres.
exactly.
Hmm. Ah. हे झूला धीरे से झूलाओ झूलाओ हाँ, झूला धीरे से झूलाओ बनवारी रे सावरिया. झूला धीरे से झूलाओ बनवारी रे सावरिया. झूला धीरे 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 से झूलाओ बनवारी रे सावरिया. झूला झूलत मोरा झूला झूलत मोरा जियरा डरत है. झूला झूलत मोरा जियरा डरत है. झूला झूलत मोरा जियरा डरत है. हाँ, लचके कदम वाकी डारी रे सावरिया. हाँ, लचके कदम वाकी डारी रे सावरिया. झूला धीरे 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 से झूलाओ बनवारी रे सावरिया. झूला धीरे से धीरे से झूलाओ सावरिया. झूला धीरे से झूलाओ बनवारी रे सावरिया
অসাধারণ, অসাধারণ। বাংলায় বললাম অসাধারণ, আউটস্ট্যান্ডিং, মাইন্ড ব্লোয়িং। অ্যান্ড
Thank you. Thank you
বাংলা
so
একটা
much.
কথা আছে, আহ, মানে শেষ ভালো, এটা এমন ভাবে আপনার রেন্ডিশনটা হলো যে সব ভালো হয়ে গেল। এবং ফর সিন্স উই হ্যাভ বিন চ্যাটিং ইন ইংলিশ অ্যান্ড ফর আওয়ার গ্রেটার অডিয়েন্স উই উইল বি টকিং ইন English, that during this pandemic time, with bad times, only music can heal up our negative thoughts. And that is why
Most
in Wednesday evening from 7 p.m. we have been with Ruchira, Kedarji, and it was a wonderful evening. And with that, I really feel delighted and extremely happy that a person of her stature came in this show and with her gracious presence. And we will be virtually showing one honor to Ruchira Kedarji. So I will request to kindly show the honor virtually, and I will request you to kindly accept the honor. Please
Thank you.
show the
Thank you.
virtual
My pleasure.
honor.
থ্যাঙ্কস এ লট মহাপাত্রজি। আমাকেও খুব ভালো লাগলো, এত সুন্দর কথা করে আমরা এখানে আজকে খুব ভালো আমাকে মানে দেখা হয়েছে, আড্ডা হয়েছে, খুব
Right.
ভালো লাগলো।
শুধু কলকাতায় পরের বার এলে মিষ্টি দই
নিশ্চয়
পাক্কা, ভার্চুয়ালি মিষ্টি দই খাওয়াতে
নিশ্চয়
পারলাম না। Yes.
নিশ্চয় নিশ্চয়
So
নিশ্চয় নিশ্চয়।
with that, this formally I'm thanking Ruchira Kedarji for coming here, and I thank our audience also for being with us since 18th November 2020. And stay tuned on every Wednesday at 7 p.m. for this face-to-face show, Mujit. So with this, signing off from this show, good night to everybody. Good night to Ruchira Kedarji.
গুড নাইট মহাপাত্রজি। থ্যাঙ্কস।